It wasn't a mansion that welcomed the shepherds. The path in the desert was not lined with gold. It wasn't the hope of great fortune that beckoned, but only a story that begged to be told. The manger is stranger than we can imagine. It's small and it's dirty, it's messy and rough, but there at its heart lies the hope of compassion. A baby in swaddling, a prophet of love. The star that the Magi were seeking to follow led not to a palace and not to a throne, but offered a blessing to those touched by sorrow. To those facing hatred, it offered a home. The manger is stranger than we can envision. It's not how we think of what holiness does. If we who have ears choose to use them to listen, the grace in its strangeness is more than enough. The song that was sung by the heavenly choir was not about money or status or fame, but captured instead our heart's deep desire to love and be loved, to be known by our names. The manger is stranger than we can conceive of, which makes it a place for the strangest of us. Our shame and our fear we can now take our leave of, and come to the manger in wonder and trust.
Listen, if I'd known then what I know now, there would have been room in my inn. Oy vey, I would have given up my own bed. But I didn't know. How could I know, right? Bethlehem was so full of people. I mean, the government, they made everybody in the world go back to the hometown and register. Government has to have the money. And since nobody wants to stay with their in-laws, I'm full. I remember that day. We were full before dinner time, and now it's 2-3 hours after dinner when they show up. Talk about desperate. He was exhausted and scared, and she was about to burst. And as they're approaching my place, I'm thinking in my head, I know what I'll say to them. I'll say, I'm sorry, we don't have room. But by the time they get there, they just stand for a minute, gather their thoughts. He looks down, he's thinking. I notice she winces ever so slightly in pain. And he looks at me, and he says, please. That's all he said, please. Let me tell you a story. I'm 5 years old, right? I'm helping my mother set the table. I noticed that she has one too many plates, so I say to her, Ma, you got one too many plates, and she says back to me, you never know who may show up. I look at her like, what? She walks over to me. She says, you never know who God may bring your way. You always make room. So I look back at the couple and I say to them, I don't know where we'll put you, but we'll make room for you. And we did. It wasn't the nicest room, but it's all I had to give them. Mom was right. You always make room.